What's up, everybody? FTWitachi here. You know what it is. Thank you all very much for tuning in to one of the first two guides that we will be releasing as quickly as possible, by the way, for Pokemon Unite on the YouTube channel of youtube.com/FTWitachi plays. This is going to be one of the first two guides that we will be releasing. I will be releasing, of course, this one, which you can already tell based off of the title, for Charizard, and I will also be releasing one for Gardevoir. Those are the two Pokemon that I've been playing extremely enough to where I feel confident to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts and my input and my throughput on both of them. And I've been doing a lot of competitive gameplay with both of them as well. Unlike some of the other ones, I've dabbed at some of the other ones through quick play, but not enough, and I don't have enough time and effort to be able to give you guys a guide on those yet. However, because these are the first two guides, I did want to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background and give you guys a couple of questions and thoughts to go ahead and dwindle about. Pretty much, if you guys want to see more Pokemon Unite guides, go ahead. Of course, if this one sought your interest, go ahead and throw a like, share, and of course subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment section down below which Pokemon you would like to see next. If we get a lot of votes, if we get a high upvoted comment on a specific Pokemon, I'll definitely go ahead and get some gameplay, get some hours on that Pokemon, get a little bit of a grind session on. For those of you that don't know, I do live stream at twitch.tv/FTWitachi plays. Find all the goodie links down below as well, and I will go ahead and get another guide out to you guys as quickly as possible. I would like to, of course, get a guide out to you guys on all of the Pokemon as quickly as I can. However, I don't know how that's going to be because right now I'm currently on a grind in competitive to where I want to definitely get to a high end put in Masters. But right now I'm working on that with both Charizard and Gardevoir. So without further ado, let's go ahead, talk a little bit about Charizard himself, and of course in the background you will be seeing some gameplay from one of my recent games in competitive. So starting off with Charizard. To be honest with you, there's a couple of ways you can go with the moveset. However, the difficulty is a novice difficulty. This is a melee all-rounder. However, I don't really see Charizard as a melee-based class. Yes, his main ability is of course going to be melee-based. However, most of his moveset is of range, so don't worry too much about the melee part because that kind of threw me off as well when I did see Charizard. However, his ultimate ability is definitely of melee sorts. Overview wise, his offense is roughly 3.5 stars, which is definitely up there, and he has been buffed since the last time that has been notified. So I would probably range him at a 4 out of 5 star right now. Endurance wise is at a 3 out of 5 stars. Mobility 2.5. He is not that fast. He's actually very slow paced. However, Charmander and Charmeleon are a little bit fast paced, but when they definitely do evolve into Charizard, he does definitely become a lot slower. However, his ultimate ability does benefit you in multiple ways than just one, which is just pure damage. He does gain, of course, a speed boost to that. Scoring wise, he's at a 3 out of 5 stars, and of course, support, he's a half star. In fact, you can probably give him a 0. You know, no, the half star probably makes sense because he does support in many more ways than just pure offense. He does have some support tactics to him, but not as much as the others. But before we get into anything else, I do want to go ahead and go over his moveset, so let's go ahead and get to it. In regards to the progression for Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard, at level 1 and level 3, the Pokemon can learn 2 of the moves below at the start of the game, which is going to be Flame Burst at a 6-second cooldown, being a ranged ability, and Fire Spin being a ranged ability as well, but it's more of an area on effect, which affects multiple targets at once at a 10-second cooldown. I will give you guys a little bit of a heads up on which one I start with at the beginning of the match. I will be giving you guys a little bit of a breakdown on each ability as well, so stay tuned for that. Moving on to the next group of abilities that he can learn. At level 5, once he is Charmeleon, the Pokemon can learn your choice of one of the 2 moves below, only one, Either Flamethrower or Fire Punch. Flamethrower is a ranged ability at a 5.5 second cooldown, and Fire Punch is a 6 second cooldown. More of a dash ability, but it's not as ranged as Flamethrower, so I would say Fire Punch, of course, is a little bit more melee ranged compared to Flamethrower, of course, but it has a little bit of a dash flavor to it. At level 7, still under Charmeleon, you can go ahead and either get Fireblast with an 8 second cooldown, which is an area on effect, which is, of course, affects multiple targets, or you can do Flare Blitz, which is a 10 second cooldown dash. Very, very similar. It's basically an upgraded Fire Punch, if you will. Pretty much his Unite move, once he has become Charizard at level 9, though, he gets to learn his Unite move, which is Seismic Slam. It's a sure hit. It has a little bit more effects than just the Seismic Toss ability within Seismic Slam, which we'll be going over in just a little bit, so stay tuned. But it is a sure hit ability, which is very, very nice to see. Just pretty much like all Unite moves. And of course it has the speed boost upgrade along with the speed boost to his normal melee ability as well, increasing the speed at how much his fire rate can occur. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look up, last but not least, how the progression of Charmander to Charmeleon and into Charizard level-wise works. So again, he's an all-rounder Pokemon that has basically balanced offense and endurance, and are highly tenacious fighters. I love Charizard, and he was, of course, my first Pokemon to go ahead and utilize in Pokemon Unite. It, of course, starts off as a Charmander at level 1. This is one of the special case Pokemon that do evolve throughout the competition. And to be honest with you, Charmander is one of the better starter evolutions in Pokemon Unite. I think his capabilities to be able to move at a pretty decent pace, capabilities of his abilities are definitely useful. He's very, very strong, and he can solo wild Pokemon very, very easily. And he's not so great, of course, being a baby Pokemon against probably a Snorlax or a Zorua or an Absol or something like that at the start of the game. So you do want to go ahead and level them up as quickly as you possibly can throughout wild Pokemon, or if you have a teammate with you that can go ahead and start taking care of your opponents, get them to Charmeleon as quickly as possible. Once you've hit level 5 Charmeleon, you can start taking care of your own just a little bit more. But then once he's hit level 9, he will evolve into Charizard, got the Unite move, and start going in on your opponents with his abilities, which we will be going over next. When it comes to utilizing these two abilities, of course, you're going to want to go ahead and start off with Flame Burst. You're going to go ahead and reach level 3 very, very quickly just after a couple of wild Pokemon spawn kills that you will get the Fire Spin, so you don't really need that encircling opposing Pokemon. You're not really going to have the luxury to go ahead and face off against multiple Pokemon at the start of the game, to where you will be fighting wild Pokemon one-on-one, and Flame Burst is going to do a lot more single target damage than Fire Spin. So again, go ahead and start off the game with Flame Burst, and then you will be getting Fire Spin at level 3, which will happen very rapidly in combat. So once we have hit level 5, we're now Charmeleon. You'll have a choice of either Flamethrower or Fire Punch, so this is where choices actually come into play, because this is the ability that you will be taking long term, and this is definitely going to be changing your playstyle as Charizard. So as Charmeleon, you'll either get Flamethrower or Fire Punch. Flamethrower is a ranged ability. Attacks with an intense blast of fire. When this move hits, it leaves opposing Pokemon burned and increases the user's movement speed for a short time. Upgrade it to Flamethrower Plus when the Pokemon reaches level 11. Upgrade does increase this move's damage and the damage caused by burning. Just to give you a heads up, Flamethrower is basically an upgraded version of Flame Burst. So if you are enjoying the beginning playstyle of Flame Burst, just going into Flamethrower and skipping over Fire Punch is probably your way to go. However, let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a rundown on Fire Punch. It basically has the user punch with a fiery fist, dealing damage and shoving opposing Pokemon when it hits. Also leaves the opposing Pokemon it shoves burned. Upgraded to Fire Punch Plus when the Pokemon reaches level 11. The upgrade reduces this move's cooldown every time a basic attack hits, which is absolutely banger, because when it does come to Fire Punch, it only has a 6-second cooldown, and being able to decrease that cooldown once you've hit level 11 with any with any regular attack is absolutely great to go ahead and utilize. But I still prefer Flamethrower over Fire Punch. When it comes to the damage from both of these two moves, Flamethrower does outbeat Fire Punch. However, Fire Punch, you are going to get more rapid Fire Punches if you do play the move correctly by reducing the move's cooldown every time a basic attack hits. So over time, you're going to get more damage from the Fire Punch. However, due to the limited amount of health most Pokemon have in Pokemon Unite, the Flamethrower tagged in with a Fireblast is going to be really, really nice to utilize. And of course, Charizard's usually not a type of Pokemon where you're going to be going in 1v2, 1v3. He's not really a tanky Pokemon, so you're always going to have someone with you to go ahead and help you finish off these Pokemon really, really quickly as well. And because of that, I'd rather stay as a ranged Charizard than to be more of a melee Charizard. Again, that's preference. However, that's why I also suggest Flamethrower over Fire Punch. Again, you can handle yourself with a 1v1 competition. You can handle yourself easily 1v2 and sometimes 1v3 if you have your ultimate ability and you're able to go ahead and position yourself on the field and on the map correctly in regards to health, in regards to your teammates being able to back you up and all that type of stuff. So again, when it comes to level 5, definitely go with Flamethrower because, again, the amount of damage is better than Fire Punch at a faster pace. However, of course, Fire Punch will eventually do more damage than Flamethrower, but you're not really going to get to the point to where you're going to be able to use that damage. Next up, we've got at level 7, once we have hit the Fireblast, this is where it's going down, because it blasts an intense all-consuming fire, dealing damage over time to opposing Pokemon, while the flames continue to burn on the ground and decreasing the movement speed of opposing Pokemon for a short time. It upgrades to Fireblast Plus when the Pokemon reaches level 13. The upgraded basically increases the damage dealt by this move. Fireblast is basically an upgraded version of Fire Spin. Next up, Flare Blitz. To dash ability, has the user charge forward, cloaked in fire, throwing opposing Pokemon, also grants the user a shield. Upgraded to Flare Blitz Plus when the Pokemon reaches level 13. Upgrade also decreases the movement speed of opposing Pokemon for a short time when they are thrown by this move. Now, Flare Blitz is actually nice, however, it is not as nice as Fireblast. Fireblast is a great way to keep your Pokemon at bay, keep your Pokemon at range. There's no real mixture of Fire Punch with Fire Blast, and there's no real mixture of Flamethrower with Flare Blitz. If you're going to do any types of moveset, you're either going to do Flamethrower with Fire Blast, which is my go-to option, or you're going to go with Fire Punch and Flare Blitz. You can't really mix the two dash abilities with the two ranged abilities because you either want to keep yourself at bay from your opponents and deal a lot of damage utilizing your Fire Blast ability, which of course is going to go ahead and keep your opponent at bay, with you being able to back up, with you being able to position yourself with the Flamethrower as the extra damage. Again, that Fire Blast decreasing movement speed helps keep opponents away from you, dealing a ton of damage while they're in that Fire Blast range, and of course, you're dealing a lot of damage with the Flamethrower. That's just on a one-on-one situation. That's on a one-on-two situation. But if you have teammates around you, teammates with you, Flamethrower with the Fire Blast is going to be absolutely bangers, depending on, of course, the teammate that is with you. For example, you can have Slowbro with the stun. The stun inside of a Fire Blast is pretty much game over for your opponent. There's multiple stuns in the game. You got one from Ninetales. You've got one from, I've already said it, Slowbro. You've got one from Pikachu. There's so many stuns that are going to keep your opponents in place to be able to keep them in the Fire Blast. Once the stun's done, they're still slowed within the Fire Blast range. They shouldn't be able to make it out of alive if you are playing this correctly with your teammates. However, again, at lower competitive ranks, you're not really going to be playing with friends. You're not really going to be using Discord, so it's kind of hard to go ahead and cooperate and time these abilities. However, at the higher ranks, most of these people know what they're doing. Most of these people understand the comps, understand the meta, so you will be able to go ahead and utilize these abilities to the best of their extent, which is why I'm giving you guys an example of them. So again, Flamethrower and Fire Blast are the go-tos when you're going to selecting your abilities at level 5 and level 7. You can do the Fire Punch and Flare Blitz playstyle. I just really don't like it, and I'm not a fan of it. it's not really a go-to. It's not as good as Flamethrower and Fireblast. And then when it comes to the Unite move, Seismic Slam, go over this one just a little bit, shall we? Sure hit. Has the user fly up into the air, allowing it to move freely over obstacles. While this Unite move is being used, the user's basic attacks deal increased damage, and they're also faster paced, and leave opposing Pokemon burned. In addition, when the user deals damage to an opposing Pokemon, the user recovers HP. So this is really great ability. Using this Unite move again on a Pokemon from the opposing team has the user grab it and slam it onto the ground from the air. Now I'm not too sure if this is a bug just yet, but every time you Seismic Slam, actually reusing the Unite move, once you've Seismic Slammed, the Seismic Slam Unite move does disappear, it does dissipate, so you won't be getting too much of the effects. So I strongly suggest you keep an eye on the cooldown, you keep an eye on everything that's going on with your Unite move, Seismic Slam. You go ahead and utilize as much normal basic attacks as you can, of course your Flamethrower and Fireblast as well. And then once you get towards the end of that cooldown, go ahead and reuse it on a local Pokemon that's next to you to go ahead and bring them up into the air and slam them into the ground, and that will be the duration of your Seismic Slam. I also want to say this is an ability to where you're going to get your Unite move so fast in this game. The progression from 0% to 100% is actually pretty quick. If you do need to waste this ability, like let's say you're about to cap, you have a full set of 30, 40, or 50 of the balls that you need to go ahead and capture with and your opponent's capture points. If you do see an opposing team of like 2 to 3 people coming at you and you have a full stack, I've done this a couple of times and it has helped me greatly. Go ahead and just use your Unite move and book it across the freaking map, because again, once you use this Unite move, you're now moving freely over obstacles. Nothing on the map is going to stop you from moving, and of course this ability does give you a huge movement boost speed. So no one's capturing you, and they're not going to be able to drop you from losing half of your points to them. Yes, sometimes it depends on the situation. If you believe you are so far into their map that losing those points is not going to affect you because you'll be able to get them back once before they've even got to your capture points. Of course, there's a lot of things going on, and I will be going into other guides in the future on how to play the maps. However, if you do need to go ahead and use Unite move just as a getaway option, it is still a good plus there. So, as a quick recap to the progression, again, you're going to be Charmander at the start. At level 5, you become Charmeleon, and at level 9, you will be Charizard. When it comes to the Moveset Rotation, you're going to want to start with Flame Burst. Of course, you're going to get Fire Spin at level 3. The first choice of options comes once you've Charmeleon. You will be at level 5. You're going to want to go ahead and go with Flamethrower. You're still going to be Charmeleon at level 7. You're going to want to go with Fireblast. And then, of course, at level 9, you will gain the final evolution stage of Charizard, and you will be given the Unite move, Seismic Slam. Next up, we're going to be getting into the best held items and used items to go ahead and utilize in regards to gameplay with Charizard. Alright, next up we're going to be going over and covering both battle items as well as held items. Starting off with battle items, there's a total of 8 that you can get and collect within the game at this moment in time. That being Potion, X Attack, Extra Speed, Fluffy Tail, Eject Button, Slow Smoke, Full Heal, as well as Goal Getter. I'm going to be showcasing to you guys at least 4 of them that have some benefits and usefulness. But I will give you guys my honest opinion on which battle item is pretty much the best. And you will notice most master ranked Pokemon Unite players are utilizing this one battle item anyways in pretty much any given situation. But starting off with the basic, it is the first one we get at a 30-second cooldown, is Potion, restoring some of your Pokemon's HP. That's pretty much a standard item to go ahead and utilize, and it was one of my favorites, of course, especially being new to Pokemon Unite. I make tons of mistakes. Getting that extra little boost of HP is very, very nice. However, there's another battle item that's basically beaten Potion to basically giving you guys a little bit of a hint. it's going to be the one item that I definitely strongly suggest. So I love Potion, but now that I have this other battle item, I've been using it a lot more and be finding it a lot more useful than Potion. But I am going to go ahead and say Potion for now, because not everybody has every single item in the game, and it does have its usage. I've actually used Potion a lot more than the next one that we're going to be going over, which is X-Attack. X-Attack has a 40-second cooldown and raises your Pokemon's attack and special attack for a short time. Now, I find that the amount of damage that I deal is strong enough without really needing that X-Attack. And yes, X-Attack does boost my special attack for a short time, but that time is really short. And it's not really going to be that much special attack, and it's not going to be that much of an increase, that I didn't find X-Attack being as useful as Potion. These are the two items that I wanted to go ahead and add into the mix because, of course, again, not everybody has every item in the game, and these two are definitely better than, let's say, Extra Speed. Not really going to need it. Fluffy Tail, dead battle item. And, of course, Slow Smoke, not really a great item either, as well as Full Heal. Those four I'm not really going to be talking about. Again, that being Full Heal, Slow Smoke, Fluffy Tail, and Extra Speed. Those are just not really going to help us in our given situations. But Potion and Extra Attack are some standard battle items that you can go ahead and utilize in the game. I am going to go ahead and throw this one in there. However, I have yet to use it. It's called Goal Getter. Trainer level 16 reward. So I'm currently at level 15, so I should be given this pretty soon. Doubles goal scoring speed for a short time. That sounds like it could be really, really good. However, I don't see it still beating the one battle item that I currently have that I've been using and pretty much all end-game users use, that being Eject Button. So Eject Button has a 55-second cooldown, which is longer than Potion. That sucks. However, it quickly moves your Pokemon in the designated direction. You would have noticed on the field there are some launch pads or bounce pads. It's very similar to that, but I feel it's maybe a little bit farther of a direction. Eject Button is basically an eject button. You're in a fight, you cannot handle it anymore. You're ejecting yourself from the fight. You're surviving the fight, and you're basically going to come back prepared for the next fight. Eject Button is basically a better version of Potion, and Potion is one of the stronger battle items out there. Potion's restoring your HP, however, Eject Button, but it's not really going to necessarily get you out of the fight. Eject Button's pretty much fully getting you out of the fight, depending on which Pokemon you're facing off against, and depending on what battle items they have and whatnot. But most of the time, Eject Button's going to fully get you out of the fight to where you can survive, you can go get some health, you can fully restart your Pokemon and fully revive yourself back into the fight. I strongly suggest Eject Button being your go-to battle item of choice for pretty much any given situation. But again, I have not seen Goal Getter in action yet, so I want to know. So doubles the goal scoring speed for a short time. I want to see how fast that is, but just doubling I don't think is going to be enough to put in Goal Getter above Eject Button. So again, it might be. I just wanted to go ahead and add it as one of the items that I just have yet to collect. So giving you guys a heads up, I haven't used it yet. You guys might have some experience with it. Let me know in the comment section down below. But again, the top three for sure are Potion, X-Attack, and Eject Button. But Eject Button is a standalone best option for battle items. And next up, we're going to be getting into held items. There's a total of 16 at the moment to collect in-game. I've been utilizing these same three for a very long time now, and I feel that this is definitely the best setup, which I will be giving you guys a little bit of a heads up at towards the end. However, I'm going to give you guys a total of 5 out of these 16, so a third of the items that are beneficial for our fighting. When it comes to it, again, there's a lot of items that we aren't going to be using. However, the ones that I'm going to be going over are going to be Shell Bell, Wise Glasses, Scope Lens, as well as Energy Amplifier and Floatstone. When it comes to a couple of the other ones, starting off with Rocky Helmet, it's a HP benefit and it's not really going to be beneficial for us. Special attack specs, those are very, very nice and handy to have as well. The following effect can be gained while the held item is in grade 1. So this is the standard ability. When the Pokemon scores a goal, its special attack is increased by 8. That is very, very nice. However, it does not outweigh the benefits coming from the other held items that I do have on our list. Attack weight, not really beneficial for us. Aeos Cookie, not really beneficial for us. Score Shield, it could be beneficial, but it's not really too much. I mean, I don't really like it. It's not. The other options are better. Buddy Barrier, not too much of a beneficial for us. And Focus Band is not too much of a beneficial for us. Same with Assault Vest. Probably the worst item in the game is XP Share. And Muscle Band, not too much of a beneficial for us. Leftovers it was nice as a very early held item in the game. However, I prefer Shell Bell way above Leftovers. So that's why I've decided to now move Leftovers out. I used to use it a lot, but not too much anymore. So again, the 5 that we're going to be speaking about are Shell Bell, Wise Glasses, Scope Lens, Energy Amplifier, and Floatstone. These are pretty much the 5 go-to held items you're going to want. Now, I'm going to narrow it down to the 3 that are the best to give you a heads up. So starting off with the first one that you're going to want to go ahead and utilize in pretty much any given situation is Shell Bell. What does Shell Bell do, you might ask? So, the following effects can be gained. This is for the level 20 example. You can get each item to level 30. It just doesn't show it in the game. I don't know why. When the Pokemon hits with a move, it recovers a minimum of 75 HP, and the higher the Pokemon's special attack, the more HP is recovered. You also get other additional effects from the Shell Bell, which is a boost to your special attack, as well as a lower to your cooldowns, which is absolutely great to have. And this is pretty much a mandatory held item on my top 3 list. Next up, you've got Wise Glasses. Wise Glasses is the following effects can be gained while the held item is at grade 20, increases special attack by 7%. So this is a go-to and a full-time benefit, unlike special attack specs. Special attack specs is when the Pokemon scores, its special attack is increased by 8. Now, the percentage that you're getting from Wise Glasses is a lot stronger than just increasing. Now, you can just collect and just go score multiple times with low amounts, but it just takes so much longer that way to just get a straight boost with Wise Glasses. Wise Glasses is much better than Special Attack Specs, which is why I've gone with Wise Glasses as my go-to number 2. Again, this also has an increase to your special attack as well. And last but not least, one of these 3, depending on your playstyle, is pretty much going to be your third go-to option. Now, I'm going to start off with Floatstone, which is the following effects can be gained when the held item is at grade 20. Increases movement speed by 20% when the Pokemon is not in combat. Now, that is great. It's an awesome ability. We're very slow to begin with, so that's what's really terrible and annoying by us. But even though that we're slow, this is an awesome ability to have. It's an awesome held item, to have. However, I'm good enough with my positioning to where I don't really need a held item slot to be extra speed outside of combat. So that's why I don't strongly suggest it compared to the other 2, but it is there if you don't have any of these other 2 held items. The next one I'm going to be going over is Scope Lens. Scope Lens at level 20 increases the damage of basic attack critical hits. The higher the Pokemon's attack, the more damage is increased. Scope Lens also has critical hit rate of an increase and critical hit damage increase. This is pretty much a straight damage buff. Comparing it again to all the ones that we didn't utilize, Scope Lens is definitely up there as a held item for us. However, my third go-to is definitely going to be Energy Amplifier. Energy Amplifier is at level 20. After the Pokemon uses its Unite move, the damage the Pokemon deals is now increased by 21% for a short time. And again, this does increase because you can increase to level 30 when it comes to held items. And this also increases Unite move charge rate by 0.4% at just level 1, 0.4%. It's going to keep going up and up, so you will be able to utilize your Unite move a lot more often, and that's a huge plus for us because our Unite move is actually one of our strong suits, especially for our playstyle. And of course, getting that 21% increased damage at held item level 20 is so strong. I prefer Energy Amplifier in the third slot, especially over Floatstone and especially over Scope Lens. So my top 3 items of choice: absolute number 1 guarantee Shell Bell, and then number 2 Wise Glasses, and then number 3 I definitely go with Energy Amplifier. I hope this answered all of your questions. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and post in the comment section. If I forgot something for whatever reason, go ahead and post in the comment section, but I don't think I have. And again, stay tuned for some more guides in Pokemon Unite. Stay tuned for some more competitive gameplay. Of course, we will be getting into quick play as well. And of course, please subscribe to us if you're new around here. It helps out a lot. And go follow us on Twitch. That'd be greatly appreciated too. Again, peace out, everybody. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I'll catch you all next time.